Oh, look at you again, staring at your phone like it's a crystal ball, waiting for that message that, guess what, never comes. A notification that would make you feel relevant for 2 seconds before you're back to being ignored. But hey, life's a humiliation show, and you bought front row tickets. And here's the million-dollar question. Have you noticed that the more you chase someone, the more they treat you like an emotional doormat? Yeah, genius. Maybe it's because humans are wired to despise anything that comes too easy. So here's a hard pill to swallow. People only value what they think they can lose. If someone is 100% sure you're there, drooling, ready to reply in 0.2 seconds, never disappearing, always available. Tell me, why the hell should they lift a finger to treat you like a priority? And now for the best part. If you're watching this video, congratulations! You've hit rock bottom in the self-esteem department and have been promoted to the glorious shelf of the guaranteed. Yep, my friend. You've become that dusty book on the shelf that everyone swears they'll read someday, but never does. Meanwhile, some other guy who doesn't lift a finger is getting all the attention from the person you idolize. And why? Simple. Because he's not available 24/7 like a telemarketer. He doesn't need her. And that's exactly why she feels like she needs him. The irony hurts, doesn't it? But relax, because today, the clown show ends. Today, you're going to learn how to ditch that pathetic role of being an emotional spare tire and become someone who's actually missed. And the best part, you won't have to grovel or do some ridiculous dance for attention. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to stop giving value to people who don't give a damn about you, and as a bonus, make them regret treating you like a freebie. But hey, there's a catch. If you falter, if you give them attention too soon, if you go back to acting like a needy golden retriever. My friend, you can go ahead and reserve your spot back on the shelf of the guaranteed. Now, do me a favor. Share in the comments the most embarrassing thing you've done for someone who couldn't care less about you. I want to laugh. Learn from your mistakes. Oh, and before I get annoyed, this video is only here because someone before you had the decency to like and subscribe. So do your part. Hit that like button and subscribe. And don't come at me with excuses, because this isn't for me. It's for the algorithm. If you want more people to get this wake-up call, help spread the word. Enough chit-chat. Let's get straight to the point. Oh, so you finally accepted that the problem isn't her being insensitive or mean, but the role of emotional doormat you put yourself in? Great, you're halfway there. Now let's get to the point. Why the hell does this happen? Why are some people ignored like a boring promo notification, while others are treated like a luxury prize without even trying? The answer is simple: perceived value. Now pay attention because I'm not repeating this. Think about the air you breathe. It's always there, right? Always available, always present. Have you ever said, "Thank you, air, for existing today"? Of course not. You only remember you need it when you're about to drown. Guess what? Relationships work exactly the same. If she feels like she can have you whenever she wants, if your attention is an infinite and free resource, what do you become? That's right. Invisible. And being invisible in a relationship is basically signing a lifetime contract to be ignored. And before you try to fool yourself, it's not that she doesn't like you. The problem is that you've never made yourself rare enough for her to feel the need to chase you. So tell me, do you want to keep being that guaranteed oxygen no one values until it's gone? Or do you want to be that breath of air that's missed the moment someone thinks they can live without it? Because, my dear, the line between being an irrelevant extra and being desired is that thin. Now, jot down the second hard truth of the day. The problem was never that you cared. The problem was that you cared more than she did. If one cares too much and the other too little, the relationship is doomed from the start. And the only solution is to make the other side feel your absence. Now let me guess. You've tried that little game of playing hard to get, right? That "I'll ignore her for a few hours" move. But by day 2, you were already sending, "Hey stranger," because you couldn't handle the withdrawal? Yeah, genius. That's why it never worked. Because ignoring someone isn't just about disappearing. It's about disappearing the right way. And that's where the first radical change you're going to implement right now comes in. Disappear, no warning, no explanation, no drama. And now, my friend, I'm going to show you exactly how to disappear the right way, so that this person finally feels the weight of your absence. Get ready because the game is about to change. The first step. Disappear without warning. Now that you've been hit with the truth about why no one values you, let's get to the part that really matters. Execution. If you want this person to finally realize your worth, you need to do something that goes against everything you've done so far. Disappear. But hold on. This isn't about disappearing like a dramatic teenager after getting rejected. It's about disappearing with strategy, and before your needy brain asks, "But should I let her know I'm disappearing?" No, damn it. No, I need some time for myself. Because the person ignoring you didn't ask. No vague WhatsApp status updates, nobody cares. No long Instagram posts about how you've learned to value yourself. That'll just get laughed at. If you do that, you know what happens? She'll roll her eyes, yawn, and think, "Yeah, sure, another pathetic attempt to get my attention. He'll be back soon." And guess what? That's exactly what you used to do, right? But now the game is different. Now you just disappear. One, how to disappear without looking like a needy idiot. The worst mistake you can make when trying to disappear is doing it in a dramatic, over-the-top, and obvious way. If you suddenly stop replying, block her, delete her, post self-help quotes, and isolate yourself like a monk, congratulations. You've just screamed to the world that you're still obsessed with her. And if she notices, she'll know she still has control. So instead of cutting contact like a desperate lunatic, the secret is to disappear quietly. If you used to reply in minutes, now reply in hours or days, depending on how much humiliation you've already accepted. If you were constantly stalking, liking, and commenting on everything she posted, now act like you didn't even see it. If you were always the one initiating plans, now you've got better things to do. This needs to feel natural. Like your life has gotten too busy to waste time chasing someone who treats you like an extra. And guess what? That's exactly what she needs to think. Now hold on, because the next step is going to leave her wondering what the hell happened to you. Number 2, what happens when you disappear? Now comes the fun part. Her brain is going to go into panic mode. She was used to getting your attention for free every single day, like a streaming service she didn't have to pay for. And then suddenly, poof, you're gone. This triggers a powerful mechanism called the scarcity effect. In other words, humans only value something when they feel like they could lose it. And now, my friend, the insecurity starts to kick in. But hold up. What happens after this disappearance? It depends on how much interest she already had in you. If she already liked you, get ready. She's going to miss you and eventually reach out. If you were just a pastime, it might take her longer to notice your absence. After all, she's got a stock of fools on standby. But here's the kicker. She will notice. And that's exactly when you need to hold your ground and not mess up. Because the dumbest thing you can do now is see the slightest sign of interest and come running back, wagging your tail. So tell me, how long do you need to disappear? 3. The ideal time to disappear and make an impact. Here's the question that separates the kings from the fools. If you disappear for just one day and come back like a desperate mess, congratulations, you just tickled her. If you disappear for a week, she starts wondering what the hell is going on. If you disappear for 2 weeks or more, the penny starts to drop. So, how long should you disappear? Long enough for her to feel the difference. And here's the crucial part. Disappearing isn't just about stopping communication. You need to subtly show that your life is going great without her. Now, if you're tired of being treated like a doormat, if you're fed up with accepting emotional crumbs and still getting kicked around like a disposable object, then wake up, dude. It's time to stop being a human rug and turn the tables. Go to the description and grab the digital book I left for you. After reading it, you'll never be the idiot begging for attention again. You'll be the challenge that makes any woman chase you. The era of the fool is over. The game is yours now.
Number 3, let go and move on, even if it's fake it till you make it.
Now that you've disappeared and left a hole in her routine, finally doing something useful for your own dignity, here's the crucial question. What the hell do you do in this time? Because if your brilliant idea is to lock yourself in your room, checking your phone every 5 minutes, waiting for the miracle of a divine notification, congratulations, you've already lost. You know why? Because that's not letting go. That's just pretending to disappear while still being emotionally chained like an abandoned puppy. And let me tell you a hard truth. People can feel when you're still obsessed with them. If your energy is still stuck on her like gum on asphalt, it doesn't matter if you physically disappeared. Mentally, you're still an emotional slave. So what do you do now? Shift your focus. And yes, at first it's going to feel like an act. You're going to pretend you've moved on, even if you're crumbling inside. But here's a secret. Fake it well enough, and one day it becomes real. Now let's get practical. 1. Post less but post right. Some fools think showing detachment means spamming Instagram, posting party pics every other day, and filling their stories with motivational self-help quotes. Wrong. That doesn't show detachment. That screams desperation. If it feels forced, she'll notice. So what's the right move? You post less. But when you do post, make it count. A photo of you doing something interesting, not that soulless gym mirror selfie. A story from a new place with other people because a busy man is an interesting man. A personal achievement, without coming off as a show-off, something that shows your life is moving forward without her. And why does this work? Because it triggers a powerful effect, curiosity. Suddenly, she starts wondering, if he's not posting much, what's he up to? And, my friend, when curiosity comes into play, you've won the first battle. Now hold on tight, because the next step is where the game really changes. 2. Go out with other people, even if it's not serious. Here's a revolutionary concept that might shock your brain, which is used to groveling. The world doesn't revolve around this woman. So, get moving. This doesn't mean you need to desperately jump into another relationship, because going from one hole to another isn't evolution, it's desperation. But going out, meeting new people, and having fun does something essential. It changes your emotional state. And if, by chance, this activity reaches her, great. Because now she'll realize the earth keeps spinning even without her illustrious presence. And here's the delicious detail. This completely changes how she sees you. Now pay attention so you don't mess up. Don't go posting pics hugging someone just to provoke her. That doesn't make you look detached. It makes you look like a desperate teenager trying to get attention. What do? Just live your life. If she finds out you're going out, let her find out on her own. This has a much more powerful psychological effect than any cheap provocation. 3. How to avoid disguised neediness. And now comes the real danger. Thinking you're playing the game but still being emotionally tied to her. Because if you're only pretending to detach while waiting for her to come back, congratulations, you're still on her leash. So, what's the way out? Occupy your mind with something real. Hit the gym, because nothing says screw you better than a new physique. Start a new project. Personal success is the world's greatest aphrodisiac. Take a trip, even if it's just to another city. Changing your environment changes your energy. Do anything that gets your life out of the endless loop of waiting and humiliation. This has 2 effects. 1. It actually helps you. Because let's face it, waiting around for someone to notice your absence is hell. 2. It completely changes how she perceives you. Suddenly, you're no longer the predictable, guaranteed guy. And, my friend, when you reach that point, the control is in your hands. But hold on, because there's one final detail. Because at some point she will miss you. And when that happens, you need to know exactly how to react. Now, I'm going to teach you the fatal mistake that can ruin everything the moment she comes back. Number 4. Don't celebrate when she comes back. Keep the power. You played the game right. You disappeared without drama, occupied your life, left her curious, and made her feel a void. And then, out of nowhere, boom! She reappears. It might be that classic, "Hey stranger," as if nothing happened. It might be a like on an old photo, the typical fishing expedition to see if you'll still bite. It might be a silly comment on a story pretending to be casual. Or, if her ego is really bruised, it might be a dramatic out-of-the-blue text. Now, I'll ask you a question. What do you do in that moment? If your answer was something along the lines of, reply excitedly as if nothing happened, then you just handed the game back to her on a silver platter. Because pay attention, she doesn't necessarily want to come back. Often she just wants to test if she still has you in the palm of her hand. She wants to know if she can still hit the come crawling button and see you show up like a happy little puppy. And guess what? If you show too much excitement, she'll think, okay, he's still mine. I can ignore him again. That's why what you do now defines everything. 1. How to respond without looking like a desperate fool. The golden rule here is, be neutral. Don't reply in 0.5 seconds like you've been waiting for this for months. Don't send a smiling emoji like a happy fool. Don't ask, why did you disappear? That screams desperation. Right responses? If she sends a, hey stranger, hey, what's up? Period. Don't keep the conversation going. If she says, wow, it's been a while since we talked, yeah, it happens. And leave her hanging. If she comments on your story, reply short and dry. Don't continue the conversation. This shows you're neither hurt nor excited. You're just indifferent. And you know what destroys the ego of someone who's used to seeing you drool over them? Indifference. So, hold your ground because now the game is in your control. 2. When to rekindle contact. Now that you survived the first test, the dynamic changes. If she keeps reaching out, showing more interest, and clearly wants to reconnect, great. Now you can give her space to do that. But warning, from now on there's one unbreakable rule. You will never be 100% available again. If you used to reply instantly, now you reply when you can and when you want. If you were always the one initiating plans, now she has to make an effort too. The game is now balanced. And one more crucial detail. If she only showed up to test her ego and disappeared again, don't even bother chasing her. Because now you only engage with people who value you. And that's exactly what separates. The fools who keep getting walked all over. The guys who turn the tables and put themselves in the right place. Now that you've learned everything you need to stop being an emotional doormat, let me ask you straight up. Are you going to keep being the fool begging for scraps? Or are you finally going to give yourself the value you deserve? Because, my friend, if there's one universal truth in relationships, it's that no one respects someone who lowers themselves. If you keep chasing someone who treats you like a last resort, if you keep messaging someone who ignores you, if you keep waiting to be noticed like a forgotten extra, congratulations, you're signing your own fool certificate. But now you have a choice. You can stay in this endless loop of humiliation, or you can simply change how you position yourself. And I guarantee you one thing. When you stop caring more than she does, when you disappear without warning, when you move on with your life without depending on her, this person will feel it. And then 2 things can happen. 1, she comes back, missing you and wanting to reconnect. 2, she disappears for good. And you know which of these is better? Both. Because if she comes back, she'll come back respecting your value. And if she doesn't, you've rid yourself of someone who never valued you. Either way, you win. Now, before we wrap up this video, I want to hear from you. What's the biggest humiliation you've endured for someone who didn't value you? Comment below, because I want to laugh. Read all the stories and, who knows, give you a wake-up call in the next video. And of course, if this content opened your eyes and made you see what you couldn't before, do the bare minimum. Hit that like button because this wake-up call was free. Subscribe to the channel, because the last thing you need is to keep falling for romantic illusions. Turn on notifications because from here on out, we're playing the game the right way. See you in the next video.